Welcome to Frequency Matters, the RF and Microwave Update series. I'm Pat Hindle, and I'm here with my co-host Gary LaRude. In this episode, we're going to cover the July software and design issue products. As a reminder, we put together a cover feature about how artificial intelligence and machine learning are adding new capabilities to traditional RF EDA tools via contributions from Altair, Ansys, Cadence AWR, Keysight, and MathWorks. The contributions show how AI and machine learning are being used to optimize antenna designs, capacitor placement, radar design, 5G phased arrays, so check that out when you get a chance. What do we have for products, Gary?
Well, we have two product features this month. From Monolithics, we have their premier product, the Complete Library, which contains models for passive components, transistors, diodes, and other circuit elements, more than 18,000 if you count them all up. The libraries are available for 6 RF microwave simulation platforms from Keysight and Cadence AWR, Ansys HFSS, Sonnet Suites, and the Cadence Virtuoso platform. And then from Remcom, the latest release of their XFDDT EM simulation software characterizes the performance of antenna arrays for beamforming and beam steering applications. So right on with the theme of the issue.
And so for tech briefs, we had a 10 gigabit Ethernet connected spectrum analyzer that offers both performance and value from SignalHound and computation EM software that predicts multi-packing from TechX Corporation. We had two special guests join us remotely today. Tom Cole, Vice President of Sales and Marketing, and Apet Barsagian, Vice President, Chief Operating Officer at Integra Technologies, joined us to discuss the radar market and their pallet transistor approach. Let's take a look at a clip from that now.
Would you tell us more about the pallet technology, what goes into a pallet and how it benefits the system designer?
Integra has long history of RF pallet design and manufacturing from nearly day one. So Integra was first to implement gate pulsing and sequencing circuitry to our gallium nitride-based pallets. We have a rich portfolio of single-stage, single transistor, 2 transistors combined in parallel, 4 transistors combined in parallel, also 2-stage pallet amplifiers, 1 driving 2 as well as 1 driving 4 configurations. And again, for GaN-based solutions, bias sequencing along with gate pulsing circuitry to ease system-level integration is key differentiator for Integra pallets.
Integra really has a unique approach to these high-power pallets, so it's always interesting to talk to them. So turning to the news, the U.S. Air Force awarded Boeing a nearly $1.2 billion contract to build the first lot of 8 F-15EX advanced fighter jets to help the service meet its capacity requirements and add capacity to fighter jet fleets. The award covers support and one-time upfront engineering costs, and the U.S. Air Force also announced that they have an overall IDIQ contract with a ceiling value of nearly $23 billion for these F-15EX program. You can note that the F-15EX fighters carry a heavy bomb load, and one thing I noted is that they're capable of carrying hypersonic weapons, so I think that's a really important thing for the future. On the commercial side, Yole Development issued a market report about the evolution of SAW filter technologies, as Murata and Qualcomm have now released thin-film SAW products to the market, and they can perform better than traditional SAW and even TC SAW, which are the temperature-compensated SAW filters, and it even competes with BAW filter technology. Qualcomm has reported that the latest thin-film SAW technology outperforms SAW and TC SAW with wider bandwidths, lower loss, and higher frequencies of operation, and you also can integrate multiple filter functions on one die. Yole reports that Qorvo and Skyworks are working hard to maintain their RF front-end positions and may have similar technologies or competing technologies releasing soon. So we'll be covering this subject in our October cover feature, which will look at this complete market in the fall. Gary, what did you see in the news?
Well, a couple items in the news caught my eye. First of all, Huawei reported their financial results for the first half of 2020. Now, these are their numbers. They haven't been audited, so let's understand that. But despite U.S. export restrictions and the pressure on operators not to buy Huawei equipment, The company says its first half revenue grew 13% year over year to almost $65 billion, led by the consumer segment, which was up 16%. The carrier infrastructure segment grew too, up 9%, with revenue close to $23 billion. And then another interesting news item that we covered, a startup incubator called EvoNexus is wanting to recruit and support early stage companies that want to work on 5G related technology and applications. And Qualcomm is supporting this program as a sponsor, not surprising since the two companies have worked together for the past 10 years. And during that time, Qualcomm actually acquired two of the companies in the EvoNexus incubator. Rory Moore, who's the CEO and one of the co-founders of EvoNexus, was actually one of the founders of Peregrine Semiconductor back in 1990. So he has long been associated with the semiconductor and wireless markets. So any of you with ideas of starting a company in the 5G space, you should look up EvoNexus.
I also wanted to note that Gary and I have done 3 podcasts in our new series on IoT innovations, so look for those to publish soon. The first one is with Grow Guru on a farming application, and the next 2 address wearable blood pressure monitoring and telehealth. You can check all those out at our podcast page on podcast.microwavejournal.com.
Turning to events, the virtual version of IMS is just a couple weeks away. It will be live streamed from August 4th through 6th, keeping all the keynotes and the technical sessions and a virtual exhibition. You'll find more information about the schedule and the registration at ims-ieee.org. And if you're a member of the MTTS, registration is free. We will be checking in virtually, and we plan to write a summary of major company announcements from the event. And then our second annual EDICon online conference is scheduled for every Tuesday in October, and we have a different technical focus each week, starting with 5G, IoT, and automotive, moving to PCB interconnect design, then signal and power integrity, and wrapping up with radar and antennas. You can watch all the presentations from your laptop. There's no registration cost, thanks to our sponsors, and you can even receive IEEE continuing education units for the sessions you attend. You'll find more information about the program and registration at edicononline.com. Well, that wraps up this episode of Frequency Matters, sponsored by Integra RF Power Devices and RFMW. Integra RF Power Devices understands the importance of a radar signal and offers a portfolio of RF power transistors and integrated pallets, providing high power, efficiency, and reliability. And RFMW is a pure play technology distributor of RF microwave semiconductors, connectors, and components with a global team to serve your needs. We appreciate you joining us and hope you're finding ways to enjoy this pandemic summer while staying safe. Until next time.